Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. A Fish Called Wanda is a 1988 heist comedy film that was directed by Charles Crichton and written by Crichton and John Cleese. It stars Cleese, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Kline, and Michael Palin. The movie follows a gang of diamond thieves who double-cross one another to recover stolen diamonds hidden by their jailed leader. His barrister becomes a central figure in the film, and jealousies rage as the femme fatale Wanda seduces him to locate the loot. This picture was a big hit. It grossed over $188 million worldwide, making it the seventh highest-grossing film of 1988. Back in the 1950s, the director Charles Crichton was a famous director of what was called the Ealing Comedies, a series of comedy films that was produced by London's Ealing Studios. He was known for his work on films like The Titfield Thunderbolt from 1953, Hue and Cry from 1947, and The Lavender Hill Mob from 1951. But by 1988, he hadn't directed a feature film in over 2 decades. Although he had worked on some TV shows and some documentary shorts, he came out of semi-retirement to work on what would become his final film, all at the behest of John Cleese. This movie was years, even decades, in the making. Cleese and the director first met and began discussing the ideas for a comedy heist film all the way back in 1969. Though they parted ways professionally, Cleese continued to look for opportunities to collaborate on a film with Crichton. More than a decade later, he finally got his chance when he found himself working with him on a series of business management training videos. Though the famed director was already in his late 70s, Cleese managed to convince him to brainstorm with him on ideas for a feature film with him. For the next few years, the two met periodically to throw around ideas and work on the script. All in all, the entire screenwriting and pre-production process took more than 5 years to develop, and it cost $150,000 of Cleese's own money. Unsurprisingly, this movie is heavily indebted to the Ealing Comedies, especially Crichton's own The Lavender Hill Mob, which is a heist comedy which starred Alec Guinness. But to hear Cleese talk about it, the parallels between the two are unintentional. But he really did embrace the comparison with those films. The actors themselves helped shape the characters they played. Cleese encouraged Kevin Kline, Michael Palin, and Jamie Lee Curtis to contribute ideas and help develop their characters. Curtis, in particular, was responsible for major changes to Wanda's personality. She was a sexually brazen, cold-hearted manipulator who simply wanted money, and Curtis didn't find that real at all. So she decided that she didn't altogether know what she wanted, but finds a wonderful power in manipulating people and feels personal satisfaction in trying to fool them. She plays a slightly different role for each man, yet she enjoys being herself, and she's not cold-hearted or vicious. She was grateful that she was allowed disability to have her input involved in the characters, and was really happy that this movie had a collaborative effort and basically spoiled her in the movie-making process. She was apparently so enthusiastic as a contributor over the course of a 2-week rehearsal period that she was given a shirt that read, "Wait a minute, I have an idea." Kevin Kline's character was really inspired by a real Los Angeles self-help guru. In the movie, Otto is a pseudo-intellectual who constantly misinterprets everything from the teachings of Buddhist philosophy to other important writings. This character was really inspired by a real-life guru named Zen Master Rama, who was sometimes called the Yuppie Guru. Cleese explains that he got the idea for the character when he was looking through a magazine and found a double-page spread for this guru who looked to be around 32 years old and seemed very unsure of himself. He also had a funny sort of hairstyle, much like a dandelion at the end of September. But the key thing to it was the line across the top of this 2-page advertisement for seminars that ran on the weekends. It said, "Buddhism gives you the competitive edge." And Cleese just thought this was unbelievably funny. Cleese named his character Archie Leach after the movie star Cary Grant, who was born Archibald Leach. Though Cleese's bumbling lawyer has little in common with the famous debonair Grant, Cleese explains that he chose that name because he and Grant shared the same hometown, and that because of that, that was the closest that he would ever get to being Cary Grant. Jamie Lee Curtis was listed as Jamie Lee Swartz on all the call sheets that were done, because John Cleese found it amusing that her father, Tony Curtis, bore the real name when he was born of Bernard Swartz. Michael Palin's father stuttered, much like he did in the film, so Palin used that a lot as a real-life experience while he was playing this character of Ken Pyle, including the fact that Ken's stutter is less pronounced around people that he trusts and gets worse around people that he's uncomfortable with. Now, much has been made and criticized about Michael Palin's sensitive portrayal of stuttering, and it's interesting to know that studies have found that those people that stutter will talk normally to animals. Ken speaks without stuttering to an assortment of animals he talks to in the film. But some of the scenes were too graphic to be aired on television in the U.S., especially the chips in the nostril scene. Many stations deemed it insensitive to individuals with impairments like that, so they required that scene to be cut before the movie aired. Go back and watch this funny film. If you like British comedies like I do, you'll love this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.